Hey everybody, we are back for more episodes of Brindlewood Bay, and this is our first, true, real mystery. I'm Elizabeth. I'm going to be the keeper tonight. Um, I'm a white woman with blonde hair that's tied up and doesn't even look super blonde today, and glasses in my late 30s at this point. I think I need to be honest with myself about that. Um, I'm autistic and disabled. Somehow it always seems to come up, even when it's not remotely relevant. But I'd like to introduce our crew. They'll tell you who they are. Feel free all to shout out any orgs or things you want to shout out. And maybe also introduce your character real quickly by way of reminder. I'm going to start with Heather.
Hi everyone. I'm Heather Silva, she, her pronouns. I'm a 38-year-old female, hair also up in a bun, and wearing lots of green, fun, adjacent, TTRPG adjacent paraphernalia right now. um, I am the owner of Worlds for All, professional TTRPG and creative event service. And tonight I will be playing Mimi. She is she, her pronouns, a maven whose style is speed walking, has a bonus to her vitality because her cozy activity is bowling league, which she's very, very dedicated to. Um, and yeah, she's kind of a no nonsense, stubborn lady.
That's awesome. And right now, she unfortunately has a twisted knee.
She does, so it makes bowling a little hard, but that's okay. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, no, she's awesome. She's got it. I'm going to kick it over to Justin, who doesn't have his hair up in a bun.
My name is Justin. He, him. I'll say early 40s, maybe hitting close to that mid because it's 44. Wearing all black, hair not up in a bun because I don't have long enough hair to do anything with. So short black hair and a goatee. Um, I am currently playing Babs McGee, who is a kind of no nonsense, fun, but in her own way, um, woman with a little bit of a bumper sticker um,
Almost
issue.
forgot about that.
Yeah,
You collect
she
bumper
collects
stickers,
bumper stickers,
but
um,
but no car,
and
right?
no car. Bumper stickers, but no car, and not just bumper stickers, but pictures of bumper stickers. But those pictures are usually taken on a nice flip phone with early 2000s camera on it. So, good luck with that.
That's amazing. Caitlin.
Hi, I am also a late 30s white woman wearing glasses, hair, but just down around my ears. I am playing Nessie. Her style is Dorothy from the Golden Girls. She used to be an architect for fine dining restaurants, and her partner did interior design. They have a bonded pair of cats named Bert and Ernie, and she is here for a good time, but not nonsense. And looking forward to helping, the town stay on track with her friends.
That's amazing. And as a reminder, we will definitely be using language because I can't help myself. And by we, I mean me, but also maybe other people. We did a round of lines and veils last time. So our lines, which are things that we're not incorporating into the story at all, are harm to pets, hangings, suicide, self-harm, and why and I was like, why am I forgetting the last one? It's player versus player violence. So our mavens aren't gonna go at each other. If you're looking for a retired, mature woman fight club, you've come to the wrong place. And then our veil, which is something that can kind of happen off screen, not described in huge detail, is drowning and suffocating. But apart from that, we don't have any current safety things other than we do kind of use a modified X card. So if you see us making an X with our arms or anything like that, that's just a way of indicating we don't like this. We're going to back up and work around what previously happened. That said, there was one other question that I had for y'all tonight, which is how are your mavens with computers? I might do this in the same order. Um, so yeah, how's Mimi with computers?
Mimi views computers the same way she views most things, which is that she just wants to brute force them to her will. But she has 4 wonderful grown children and lots of grandchildren, and so she has learned FaceTime on her iPhone, and she watches lots of bowl TV on her phone as well, where she may or may not do a little bit of sports betting. She's also kind of learned how to do that. So I think she's like reluctant and thinks it's a little bit annoying, but as long as someone teaches her, she can do the basics. No computer in her house though. Maybe a tablet or something.
I love this so much. What about Babs and her flip phone?
Babs with a flip phone says she's probably not the most modern of computer savvy individuals, but she's got probably like an old Windows laptop that's probably still trying to roughly run on like a Windows XP thing that she uses for email, internet, but she also doesn't know how to open or close anything. It probably hasn't been restarted in years. She's got tabs open from like 1998 still, and Windows she doesn't close, so she just drags them out. So everything she's ever had is either on her desktop or and just pushed out of the way, or just somewhere there. So she's collecting every bit of data she's ever known somewhere on that page.
That's absolutely amazing. What about Nessie?
I think that she has a bit of computer savvy. I think she might have at least, like, not the most current, but like done some drafting on computer programs and in digital workspaces. But definitely feels like she is more of an expert than might actually be. Like not a multiple tabs kind of person, is definitely a like open a new window. Um, has some fluency. Definitely has like kind of a modern version of like an iPhone type thing, and she feels like she can use that, but definitely, like the text is all very big. Um yeah.
That's amazing. So, oh, this is brilliant. Okay. Today's adventure is called Control Alt Deceased. This mystery has a complexity of 7, so mechanically that means you're going to have to find at least 4 clues before you can theorize to try to solve the mystery. Um, since Brindlewood Bay unfolds very much like a television show, let's do our title sequence. Maybe we'll go around backwards this time from what we just did. So we'll go Nessie, Babs, Mimi this time. If you can just like narrate a little slice of life, but it'd be fun if it's a little technology themed.
So Nessie is kind of having coffee and a scone and just sitting down in their little like nook. When the sun comes in mid-morning, it's just like the perfect place to be and reflects off like a couple of pieces of cut glass. And the cats like to chase the light on the floor while she has her snack. And she's pulling out her phone and basically, like, I think this is the moment when, like, she finally realizes she has to, like, make the letters big. Like, she's been really resisting it for a while, but, like, sending just, like, typos to everybody. Like, nothing is really close to what she intends it to be, and people were just kind of, like, letting it go because it wasn't, like, super important. And then finally, um, one of her friends was like, "Honey, you're saying gibberish, like you're not making sense at all." Um, and so she's like trying to go through the settings on her phone and is like toggling between like the directions for like how to make things bigger and like the settings panel and just feeling very frustrated.
It's amazing. Oh gosh, this is what awaits us sooner than we would like, probably. What about Babs?
Babs is just sitting at her desk, got little Banjo, the Siberian Husky, sitting there begging for a treat while she's being frustrated, trying to find and go through her junk drawer of a little bit of everything to try to find just a cable, and going through 18 million cables to figure out how to hook a flip phone up to her laptop because she really wants to get those pictures of all of those bumper stickers on. And so it's just a frustrating 200 cables just constantly trying to plug in, or force cables that don't fit and noticeably don't fit, and just keeps trying. Just frustrated, finally clicks in, and then the computer dies.
How about Mimi?
I think Mimi is standing on in her backyard with the hose running and one of the like sprinkler nozzles just watering the flowers. She's wearing kind of like a high zip uh, uh, like track jacket and like windbreaker shorts, and you can see she's got like an ace bandage on her knee.
Oh,
And
no.
while one hand is on the hose, the other hand is holding her her iPhone equivalent that she's clearly FaceTiming. She's talking to her grandkids of her oldest daughter Rita, and it's a lot of like her just kind of yelling at the phone and not holding it in a way that basically they're just seeing like her chin and like part of the hose. And it's just a really chaotic FaceTime call. She does not understand that she's got to like hold it in the correct place, and it's just moving around. There's a little water getting on it. Just her talking
Gosh.
really loud.
Oh my goodness. This is brilliant. And probably all the better then that on Thursday mornings, the three of you have a habit of attending Code Coven. This is a women's only computer club that's held in the back room of the Brindlewood Bytes computer store. BYTES. Little technology pun there. The founder of the club, her name is Cersei Vaughn, and she's really popular in town. She sticks out a bit like a sore thumb, very Valley Girl accent. She's short and very intense, but also like intense about her passion for technology and teaching people about it, but also like huge glowing grin. Like you can feel the California sunshine coming off of her as she walks through town, usually power walking. It's very much like a race. She tends to wear a fanny pack that has tools and dongles in it while kind of clutching her laptop bag under her arm, and is quite beloved for just how smart she is, her really good sense of humor, and how she's been mentoring other women to like really be empowered by technology. So yeah, I'm going to ask you this kind of paint the scene question. What Code Coven project do you remember fondly, or maybe dread, on the other hand, from last week, from the last Thursday morning? Did it change your relationship to technology at all? So this is like a group think.
Maybe some sort of like Photoshoppy type thing. Um, like
Oh,
uploading a picture and adjusting it in some way.
yeah. Who had a good picture that Cersei was trying to help them with? Is this
I
like
had plenty of pictures of my bumper stickers. I'm just saying.
do you think you'd be trying to like make a collage of them or like enhance the picture, or
I'm trying to make a haiku out of nothing but bumper stickers.
like unlocking your technology and your potential? And maybe that's why you were working this morning to try to download more pictures that you took from your phone into your laptop to take it in and maybe get a little bit of help from her. But yeah, this
Uh,
morning everything's kind of going to plan. You've got your Photoshop project. What do you think Nessie might want to work on at Code Coven, or be like trying to improve? Are you just like messing with the settings, discreetly trying to get it a font
Um,
bigger, or you have another project?
no, I think that she probably has like an old laptop with like sort of like dream plans that she had for like spaces if she were ever asked to do projects.
Mhm.
And she's just feeling a little nostalgic because like Viola would have done some of the interiors and she wants to like access them, but she's forgotten the password.
That's amazing. So, uh, Code Coven had been this great time with other women of, like, huge age range. You'd have teenagers there, folks your age. And there's always a bit of good-natured gossip, like, how did Cersei even get here in the first place? Like, why was she retired? She retired young. She seems to have a lot of money. She's mentioned working for a company called Cole Technologies, but it's very mysterious. Like, what she did was really hush hush. Um, there's one time to one of you that she let something slip about her former life. Who do you think would have like gotten it out of her? And what would it be? You look like you have an idea, Mimi.
Oh, no.
Nope, you just have a face
I
like of intense.
I was gonna say, I think I could have gotten it out of her, but then I was like, oh, I don't know what it would be though. um, I would love help on that, but I could see, particularly you mentioned that she's got a really good power walk, and
Oh yeah, no,
so
you were
maybe you
probably
were,
power walking together.
yeah, yeah.
And it's a
Uh,
secret about
Yeah, she just says nothing about her former life. And she's definitely caught you like gossiping about her before, and she seems to love that like speculation and mystery. But one time she let something drop that was true. Probably, yeah, to Mimi while power walking. What do we think it is? And y'all can all kind of jump in if you have a thought.
that her nephew hacked Canvas.
Oh
Too
my
soon.
gosh.
Too soon.
Maybe she taught her nephew how to hack Canvas.
Sure, yeah.
I
Yeah.
love this so much. So for those of you who aren't in the academic circles, there right now is a nationwide Canvas outage because it was hacked. This is like one of the biggest, most popular learning management systems that's used at colleges and universities. At Virginia Tech and a lot of other schools, it's exam week right now. So that means they're actually having to cancel exams tomorrow, reschedule them to Sunday. And like students are freaking out because we can't, like faculty can't grade, students can't see their grades and assignments. It's like chaos. So I love this that maybe even
I
like
think
this morning before you got there, you were power
I was
walking
gonna
or
say,
something.
I think maybe my youngest, Dora, is a teacher, and so I was maybe, like, explaining that, like, she was complaining about grading or something, and then she kinda just wryly let that slip.
I love this that Cersei taught her nephew to like hack Canvas for maybe like to try to improve his grade. And so like, I don't know, who knows, maybe he did it, like that kind of brilliant. So yeah, you're at Code Coven proceeding normally, but then
Mhm.
all of a sudden Cersei cries out and falls to the ground. She's clutching a cordless keyboard to her chest and she's not breathing. The air is heavy with the smell of ozone and burnt plastic. And if you look up, the computer that she'd just been handling is a scorched ruin. There's several different people in attendance right now, other than Code Coven. So there's members of Code Coven. The shop is owned by a man named Howell Langley. And yeah, what would y'all do first? Everybody's just kind of in shock that this has happened.
Uh, Nessie would probably like grab a fire extinguisher and just like start blasting the computer.
Yeah.
Um, just to like make sure that nothing else like caught on fire or that like it didn't, overheat and spill over into something else.
Yeah, as you do that, the computer like nearest the one that blew up, there's a woman sitting there. You recognize these folks because you've been with them a long time. It's Abigail Hamilton. She's known as the Coven Cook. because along with her like red hair and bright dresses and patterned leggings, um, she always brings sweet treats with her, trying out new recipes and things like that. This morning it was peanut butter and jelly cookies. And when you come over, like when Nessie comes over with the fire extinguisher, she kind of like jerks out of the way and covers like the top of her her little plate full of cookies to protect them from it, as if like that's the main concern right now. She's also like a relatively young whippersnapper compared to y'all. She's like 48-ish. So she's
I think my instinct would be to like try to run over to her. And I think also you see me like take a couple quick steps and then like my knee buckles and I kind of go to the floor and like reach out over her just like I think it probably goes through my head like as I start reaching out and then recoil right before touching the keyboard like is that on fire or is that bad? But trying to like assess if she's alive.
yeah. As you kind of get near Cersei to look at the body, um, and you have that moment of stumbling, Zelda Lovelace kind of helps stabilize you a bit. She is probably closer in age to y'all than to Abigail, so she's not like really grabbing you and holding you up. But you can feel even just against your face the comfort of this elegant pashmina that she wears, of that like really delicate wool. Um, she has long curly hair, lots of jewelry that kind of dangles a little, like makes the it dangles but also makes that little clinky kind of sound as she's coming near you, and you can smell incense on her quite strongly. And she goes, oh dear, what happened to your knee? Oh, what happened to Cersei?
Don't worry about my knee. We need help. Somebody call the doctors. Somebody call something. Stupid my knee.
And she just yells out, Howl, get over here, because she is Howell's sister, the man who owns Brindlewood Bites. Two things will kind of happen at once. One is, looking at the body, you're not seeing any signs of life right now. Are you trying to look deeper, look for specific clues, or was it really just like, is she a goner? What's kind of the level you think you're?
I think in this first moment, it's just an emotional reaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe like kind of looking up and around at people, like why is no one calling 911 or something like that? Just maybe looking to
Yeah.
Babs. Like, what do we do?
Well, I was
Absolutely.
going to say, I feel like this is when Babs would kind of like with the no nonsense. She just doesn't have as much of emotion, so she's just walking up and she's like, "Mimi, you shouldn't be moving with that knee." And then she just kind of like with no emotion is trying to look over. Um, sorry, I'm bad with names. Cersei,
Cersei.
uh,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
at the same time pulling out that little flip phone to try to call for 911.
Okay. Let's start with a meddling roll for Babs just to look for clues on the body. I think. Ooh, what do we want you to roll with here? Did you have something, or sorry, I'm not.
Oh, I'm just sort of like
Oh, okay.
just an above table thought that is infiltrating because I have done like CPR training recently, and I'm
Mhm.
just imagining like Nessie yelling from the computer, like, check call care. Like as she's like spraying with a fire hydrant.
Okay, this is amazing. So Babs is trying to do this much more like are you trying to stay like really focused and calm? Is that really like I'm thinking about what ability you're gonna roll with. Um,
It's more of a lack of emotion in her
okay.
character as much as just trying to be calm.
Yeah, why don't you roll with reason then? So you'll do 2d6 and you can add your bonus of 2 for reason. Nessie just yelling.
I got
Nessie,
11. I'm sorry.
11. Oh, that's good. Nessie, while you're yelling, I feel like
Can you hand me dice? Can you hand me dice?
hmm. Actually, let me resolve this first, and then Nessie, I'm going to ask you if you want to make a roll kind of associated with that. Yeah, so you're going to take a look at the body. An 11's good enough that you're going to find a clue. I think she's definitely not breathing. You do not get a pulse. However, like in the process of kind of maneuvering her a little bit, to try to check everything, a her smartphone falls out of her hand and it has been smashed with a hammer. So that's your first clue, is a smartphone that has been smashed with a hammer.
My first response is going to be like, did she land on this? Because I'm just seeing like a smash phone. It's like she couldn't have done that.
Yeah. It's quite intense, like relative to if she had just fallen or something like that. Caitlin, do you feel like Nessie yelling this out is feeling really competent? Like, are you bossing them around, or are you starting to get really stressed?
No, she's just like, actually, sorry. I don't know why this character is like a little insufferable. I think that she's like, why aren't people like doing these things? Like, I'm trying, like, fire seems like a big, like, your surroundings have to be under control before you should like check on a person, right? So like she jumps up to take care of this and
Yeah.
like she's watching Mimi like try, and of course she's also having fun of like, oh honey, ask someone, like tell, you gotta learn to delegate. So like she's just over there like
I feel
screaming
like
like old CPR training. But
I
I'm wondering like whatever the version of Check Call Care would have been from like 1973. So it's like not up to date, but she's like authoritatively telling people.
I think in that case, to kind of represent this, I want to give you a condition. My gut instinct is to just be like, the condition's called over it. I think exasperated would be a bit more professional, but like, what does that sound about right for like what she's feeling?
Yes.
So these conditions that we mark, they can be physical things that are happening. They can be, a lot of times they'll be emotional. There's a lot of dimensions to them, but we can always collaborate on them a bit. You can have up to 3 without necessarily having an ill effect, but you can't have 4. You're going to be forced to put on a crown, and putting on too many crowns can force you into retirement. So the way to clear those is to use the cozy move, which it'll be you can do your cozy activity with one of your friends, have a nice like intimate friendship moment, and that's how you would clear the condition. I'm explaining the rules to remind myself and also any viewers that are new,
Sure. And
because y'all probably remember this. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
add that to my character sheet under conditions. I can
Yeah,
just write
under
like,
conditions, you could write exasperated over it.
sure, perfect.
If there's a better way, tell me,
Oh, that's
to
great.
explain how you're feeling. I kinda love that. So, yeah, as you're doing this investigation of the body, you hear, like, kind of the stomps of a larger man on the other side of the door. He'd been in the, office, like, it's marked, like, "Staff do not enter." Pulls open the door, and you see a very tired-looking, kind of simultaneously balding, but also with, like, a very impressive ponytail. Um, he seems to wear, it can't possibly be the same t-shirt every day because it does seem like there's, like, a slight difference in the color scheme, but he loves wearing this shirt he has on today, and it has a slogan that says, "It works on my machine." Um, he just looks at Zelda and it's like, "What on earth are you doing now? I let you ladies use this back room because," and then he stops and looks down at the body. So yeah, this is Howell Langley, the owner of Brindlewood Bites. Since you know Zelda well enough, you would know that this is Zelda's little brother. But there's another relative in the house. Howell's daughter, which he shares with his ex-wife, who lives in Portland, is Sabrina Libby. And she's the Coven acolyte here. She is the youngest member of Code Coven with a neon pink undercut and eyebrow studs. She tends to wear a different beanie and baggy jumper every day of the week. She's about 16 years old and is currently living in Brindlewood Bay and like super not impressed with it at all. She'd been,
Brindlewood Bay is not impressed with her.
oh, here you go. Geez, Sabrina, get with it. But yeah, she when she first came to town, she was like really sullen, but you've seen her kind of like warm up, and there's something about technology and also like Cersei's infectious joy that kind of like brought her out of her shell. So she seems to kind of like Coven, but doesn't want to tell you that. But anyway, she seeing her dad come in just like rolls her eyes like, Cersei's dead, and that's like all you have to say about this? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I think Mimi has found the place to direct her ire or her emotions in this moment.
Mhm.
I there's something I feel like if I'm out power walking with a youngin, then I must have a somewhat of a relationship with them, and I think you're
Yeah.
seeing maybe some uncharacteristic emotion from Mimi, that she very quickly decides will be very pointed anger, and because we will not show sadness, so I think just gets up and is just like, what kind of machines you have in here that are just exploding and just killing people? How? What is this? Like, and just really starts taking it out on him.
Okay, that's amazing. Why don't you give me well, I'm wondering how dangerous this is. Is this risky?
Certainly not composure.
Well, that's what's funny is because you can kind of roll them like I'm thinking more presence. Does that
Yep,
feel right?
that feels right. I
Let's
have a
let's
0
treat
in
it
that.
as
That
a
feels right.
meddling move with presence because I don't think it's super dangerous to confront him. That's what I was going back and forth. Like, is this risky enough to trigger the day move? I don't think so.
Mm.
So yeah, why don't you roll the 2d6 with your presence, which is kind of your force of personality.
That will be a 9.
A 9. Okay. So a 9 is the way the scale works. A 7 to a 9, you do find a clue, but there's some sort of complication. The complication can be with the clue, or it's a complication you encounter, and I will tell you what the complication is. A 10 is a hit, 10 or 11, you just get the clue, and then a 12 or higher, you will find the clue, but then also get a void clue or something about the dark conspiracy, or there's like a few other bonus things that can happen there. So yeah, you were going to find a clue and a little bit of a complication. I think he's stunned, that you're kind of getting in his face, blaming him for all of this. You will he is going to, he's gonna take a look at you and go, "These are the same computers that have always been here. And I let you come in here and use them for free and get your sticky little old lady fingers all over them." Like he's completely I think your complication here is the sexism's gonna start to show a little bit in terms of the like he's gonna be more obnoxious for you to deal with moving forward is the complication. Um, it's up to you how you deal with that, and you don't have to fix his problem. It is his problem. I want to be clear. Um, but as he's kind of ranting at you, He's like, I don't know which one of you were in here last night, broke the window to break in, probably to get something that you dropped from your purses, maybe some perfume from 1954. And he has let slip in his anger that there seems to have been a burglary last night. So a conveniently timed burglary is your second clue.
I think Mimi's gonna devolve at the phrase "sticky old lady fingers." Like anything else that happened, that's a clue that she just barely registers. And this is the equivalent of like she's going to stop listening rationally and just start devolving into Spanish, and just yelling at him. And I can't do that justice, but
Yep.
she's just like, "Oh, I'll show you sticky," and then just starts like. So she'll probably need one of you to take her away.
Is this enough to kind of like impose a condition? To be
I think so.
like
I
this has
think she's
rattled her
emotional.
emotionally. What would we
Yeah.
call it though?
Um, I mean, I think she's really upset. I think actually what it is that she's upset.
Yeah.
She's grieving.
Yeah, no, I think
But
that's
she's
yeah.
taking it out in anger.
Yeah, shoot, which stage of grief is that? 'Cause it's nonlinear anyway.
Denial? No.
Like, 'cause anger is I can't remember the numbers. But yeah, no, I think that's, I mean, you could even do like angry/grieving or grieving/angry, but giving you that second condition there.
I think I'll do like masking grief with anger.
Love it. That's beautiful. That's perfect. But, Zelda will kind of try to come in between and deal with her brother, and she'll, kind of reach out a claw of a hand. You know, you didn't notice just how sharp her manicure was until this moment. Digs it into his, shoulder and goes with a completely different, very put upon accent, I might add. Um, "My dear brother, I think you really should take a breath. I'm not sure how any of us could have done anything to a computer that would have hurt poor Cersei. And maybe mind your manners. A woman just passed here." And then she stops and thinks for a moment. She goes, if anything, Cersei made your business more attractive to other buyers, upgraded your computers for free, expanded your client base. She's the one that even helped me set up the inventory system back when I had the shop." And just kind of is looking at him like, how dare you? Um, and I'm gonna give you a bit of a clue for free here because I think that the anger, her seeing this darker side of her brother that needs to maybe get off the internet sometimes, um, she is going to let slip in front of you that this business, Cersei's work here actually kind of upgraded the business. The store that was struggling, she came in, she repaired the computers, she was teaching more and more people to use the technology, meaning they were coming and buying more stuff. So much so that when Zelda reaches in, like one claw on the brother's shoulder, reaches into his pocket with two fingers and is going to pull out a card. This is a business card for Titan Tech, and specifically for the owner. His name is Robbie Goldberg. So this will be clue number 3 is a business card from Titan Tech. Folks who are interested in buying out the little family-run Brindlewood Bites.
We have that knowledge. That's kind of
Ooh, and I do want to shout out that our friends over at Mimics and Misfits just passed $4,500 in their Kickstarter, which means their cartoon setting is here. So they got 2 stretch goals unlocked. This is the last day, the last 24-hour period of their Kickstarter. So if you want the duality system, plus a space setting, plus a family-friendly cartoon setting with family-friendly rules, hop on over there and grab it while you can. Anyway, sorry, go ahead, Justin.
I was just kind of asking, would we have knowledge of Robbie Goldberg's before, like if we see the card and we see that the Robbie Goldberg's name on it, would we have enough knowledge to associate that?
Ooh. Can you roll me the 2d6 and maybe add, I feel like reason? Trying to see if you can like piece this together.
That'd be 4 plus 2, so that'd be 6.
Yeah, this is not, it's not ringing a bell at all. However, the one thing you do know is that just outside of town is a Titan Tech location. It's a big mega store, very much like a impersonal warehouse kind of vibe. And that is a location you could choose to go to.
I feel like I would want to ask Zelda about the Titan Tech card in general, and if they're associated with them in any way.
Yeah, why don't you roll me with presence?
So 11.
11. Very interesting. Yeah, so with the 11, she'll tell you that Titan Tech is quite interested in acquiring Brindlewood Bites, but thus far, I'm pretty sure my brother and I had agreed not to sell the store, and kind of gives him a quite pointed look. However, at the same time, I think it would be Sabrina who is clicking around on the computer, and it's getting a little obnoxious, just like click, 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 click. And it's even weirder because if you look, or after you look over at her, you see the mouse pad is the like the wharf for Brindlewood Bay and like the fish market, which is a very strange image to put in a mouse pad, but was probably one of the projects that Code Coven made, you know, in one of their early Photoshop sessions, and really like, how can you turn this into merchandise for your small business kind of demonstration. And she stops and goes, wait a second, what is this? She opens something, and between her and her father and her aunt, they conclude that there is military grade spyware installed on the computer that Sabrina's looking at. That's your next clue. Military spyware installed on a computer.
I feel like something about hearing about the military just really like I think Mimi walked away to cool off. Maybe who was it? Maybe uh Abigail took me aside and helped me cool
Oh
off,
yeah.
and then I hear military and I'm like, "Oh, here we go." Just gotta walk back over and
Yeah,
we'll
because
lean
I mean,
over.
Abigail's definitely like, "Oh, you know what? We've had such a nasty shock, but you know what'll help some food? Get a little sugar in you. I got these lovely peanut butter and jelly cookies. Just a tiniest little bit of protein, but it'll perk you up." And you know, it was just no trouble at all. I woke up so early this morning. I always do on the Code Coven mornings, and I popped them in the oven, you know? Do you think this means that we're not going to have a meeting next week? Because I was planning on making some red velvet brownies. Like, I had this really great recipe that I wanted to try, and I I should stop talking about this, shouldn't I?
Uh-huh, but I'll take a cookie and grab one and,
And
like,
she'll just, like,
walk
throw them
over
at
and
you.
look over Sabrina's shoulder and, having absolutely no idea what I'm looking at, but be like, "They're watching us."
Do
At
you
this point,
start Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think like Nellie would walk over and be like, military surveillance?
Do y'all start trying to look into the computer more?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so
Yes.
there is a new move you get just for this mystery called the computer move. So when you're searching for a clue, conducting research, or otherwise gathering information using a computer, you're going to describe how you're doing so and then roll with reason. If your relationship with computers is positive, you get advantage, and if your relationship with them is negative, roll at disadvantage. So my shortcut notes would be that Nessie would roll with advantage, Babs with disadvantage, and then Mimi may just roll flat because it sounds like you're kind of in the middle. I almost feel like I should do a luck check to see if you have cell reception, and that'll determine whether it's advantage or disadvantage because like whether or not your grandchildren can help you. Does that feel fair?
That feels very fair. I also was just laughing because Heather, when you said, "Are you trying to figure out what's in the computer?" went, "Yes, Mimi's literally doing the Zoolander move of like it's in the computer." at this point.
I love one of you's looking at the software, one of you's looking at the hardware, kind of,
Yes,
sort of. Okay,
I'm
so we're gonna
definitely ending
do
going more hardware.
odds for good reception, evens for bad reception. It's odds, good reception. So if you both want to roll with advantage, you can both use the computer move on your different parts of the computer, which might yield different results.
Great.
Bab's just letting the other two women just take care of this at the moment.
It's probably better that way.
Just
It's
dead eye and
It's
how.
really weird because as you do that, you start hearing Love Machine Part 1 by the Miracles. Just like happens to come over the speakers for the store, and like with the open door and everything, it's like bleeding into the room. You're just kind of vibing.
Yeah, Mimi cannot as
Zoning out.
soon as there's a rhythm, like she's moving involuntarily. I got a 10 for hardware.
Okay.
Oof. So rolling with advantage, does that mean I get to roll my 2d6s twice?
You get to roll 3d6s and take the two higher numbers,
Okay.
which is way more confusing than it might otherwise be.
Okay. And then did you say we're adding sorry.
Reason.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So that for me would be a 12.
Ooh, so Mimi got a 10 on hardware, and then Nessie got a 12 on software.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Mimi, can you roll me one, just roll me 1d6 and tell me what number it comes up?
2.
Okay. So, that might have been your best option.
Yay.
Number 1, the computer's not gonna crash as you find the clue, so it's not gonna disrupt what that 12 that your friend got. Number 2, nobody noticed your intrusion, so you did not trigger the condition pinged. Just giving it to you
So good.
straight.
So good.
Okay. So in the software, or sorry, in the guts or the hardware, let's do that one first. You're going to find evidence of sophisticated tampering with the computer's power supply, like where it connects into the body of the computer itself.
Amazing. I picked at the beginning of session, one of my 2 questions was, did you share your wisdom with a young person? And I would like to while I'm literally just doing like a body scan of the like computer, like talk to Sabrina and be like, everybody thinks you got to be all fancy, but really you just got to use your eyes, and just like starts getting, you don't even have to know anything about computers. You just look for the place
Which
where
is so
somebody took
funny
a little knife and
because you actually probably have like a grandchild on the phone because you had the good cell
yeah,
reception role, like walking you through it. But you're all, yeah, I love it. I love
exactly,
it so much.
exactly. And yeah, and it's like, "Oh, see, right here, there's something weird, right?" And then yes, I'll let my grandchild explain that it looks like somebody tampered with the power source.
I love it. Um, Caitlin, you are going to find, as you're digging around in the software, a script pops up and it purges all the files on the computer as soon as you open it. So that's a clue. But after you click it, the computer shuts down, and then all of the monitors at once blink to life, and each one has a single word in blocky, oversized letters. Together, the words create the sentence, "Rejoice, for a child will be born unto us." And that is your void clue. I'm happy to pause for a second so we can catch up on the note taking.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, you're good? Okay. Um, how does that make you feel?
Um, a little shocked. Not quite used to the military and, religious synthesis that we're seeing kind of happening here.
It's 2026 America. You're not used to a theocratic military yet?
Uncomfortable.
Sorry, I really did not need to do that.
Yeah, I think Mimi just like backs up, like maybe lets the little bit of cookie that she had left fall, and just Dios mío. Just
And then Bab's just sitting there going like, I knew it. I knew it. This is just happening more and more these days. Like
Um,
it's taking over everybody.
I kind of want I want to give Babs a condition in this moment. I feel like it's something like convinced you're right, like the pull of a conspiracy. There's something there. I don't know how to phrase it, but I feel like this is going to color your how you engage with whatever happens next. It's
False
like
confidence.
yeah, that like certainty that you are pulling at a thread. Vindication was suggested. I like that one. From Sean. Thank you, Sean. At least Sean will be caught up when it's Sean's turn to play. Oh, I have a plan, Sean, don't worry. Um, as you're all kind of taking this in, the monitors turn off. You hear just like the normal humming of computers. And then if you kind of have the computer that blew up in the center, y'all are looking at the one that was Sabrina's over to the right. On the other side of Sabrina's, kind of on the far right, you hear, "Do you want some help with that?" And it's Sticky, the sticky note, an animated office assistant that just like pops up on the screen by default. Probably more than a little startling. But when that happens, I think this might be. Oh, I guess you technically have two more Coven people I haven't introduced yet. That is the computer that Winifred Goldberg is sitting at. She's known as the Coven Elder. Sitting at is kind of interesting because there's actually no chair in front of this computer because she gets around quite slowly on a mobility scooter and just kind of like drives her scooter like parallel to the desk. She's kind of turned with her back towards you right now so that she can reach and play with it. And she's like, what, dear?" And is like talking to it because she's also nearly deaf, and is like having a little bit of an argument with with I almost said Clippy, but this is Sticky. This is Sticky, the sticky note. It's not, proprietary. Um, even though she is, getting older, having some trouble getting around, nearly deaf, she never really misses a trick. And when she reacts to this, I think something about Babs's newfound confidence reminds you that, oh, Winifred never stops talking about her great grandson, Robbie. And then the last member of the coven, Agnes Hopper, bespectacled, serious, very smart dress sense, and has her hair in a neat white bob. She comes in with her retired school principal voice and kind of like, folds her hands in front of her, looking at you all. It goes, Cersei was a remarkable woman. We may have argued a lot, but I respect her for it. The coven must go on, but shouldn't we alert the authorities?
At this point, Nessie would step in because one of her questions was, did she secretly undermine the authority of a local official? So she wouldn't come out of the gate very strong with this, but, she would just sort of say, like, well, I feel like we should make sure that we've got all of our ducks in a row before we bring anyone else outside into this mess. And just sort of redirect uh, the question to, like, who's the younger Sabrina,
Mhm.
um, and just kind of like engage her in conversation and like, so, can you tell us about anything that you think might have happened to this computer? Like, how could somebody get access? Like, just kind of pretend like that idea never happened and keep moving our investigation forward.
I'm going to treat this as like, because you are trying to undermine authority, I'm going to treat this as a little dangerous. It is Thursday morning, so that does put it under the day move. As a reminder, when you do something risky or dangerous, it's even more risky and dangerous to do it at night. So this is often determined by the time of day, although if you're really, really pushing it, sometimes the night move happens during the day. But you need to do this. I want you to name what you're afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve. So if you fail to convince folks not to call the authorities, what's the bad thing that could happen?
Mm. I think that she would just she would lose a bit of her confidence because she's used to being able to like command spaces. And I think there would just be a little less of a light in that regard.
I like that. So yeah, why don't you roll with presence because you're like trying to convince Agnes to back down.
Okay. And just two.
Yeah, the 2d6, then you can add your presence modifier.
I have a question while Caitlin rolls. Is there, just because I also have that question, is there any sort of like a help action in this game?
Um, I don't think so. Although there is an authority that may show up depending on how this goes. So you'll have more
Fair enough.
opportunities. Plus,
No, I
as
was just
as a reminder to folks listening, we're going to play half of the mystery tonight and half of it next week. But I will give you another opportunity for sure to hit that question. Let it go, Caitlin. 9. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and then you can choose either to back down or go through with it. If you
Okay.
go through with it, I'll tell you what it looks like. So I think the risk here is that the coven could turn on you and think like these suspects may start thinking of you as a suspect, and it could make it a little harder to operate, and they may be even quicker to call the authorities. So your choice is either you could go through with it or you could back down.
And what does going through that mean? Like, do I roll anything else again, or?
So you're kind of I'm kind of backtracking slightly. So it's more like you're thinking about confronting Agnes about this and trying to convince her of that. You tell me what you're most worried about, then you roll it. And then since you rolled a 9, I'll tell you what will actually happen. And then you can decide, I'm still going to try to convince Agnes and I'll just like pick up the pieces from there. or you can say, never mind, I'm not going to do it. And you back down.
I'm still gonna try.
Okay, cool. So Agnes looks at you quite skeptically and definitely gives you a principal glare and goes, you know, Nessie, you're not so bad with computers yourself. And you didn't seem to have any trouble deleting all of the files on that suspicious computer. I think I'm going to give our local Brindlewood County officials a call. And
Fine.
she will walk away from you into the office. So in this space, you're kind of in the back room. There's the front room, the showroom, and there is like the Brindlewood Bites property more broadly, and then like Howl's little office. So she's going to go in there, and you hear her pick up the phone and make a call. So yeah,
Sure.
I'm sorry. What will you do next? Any of you?
Listen. I would be listening.
Oh, you're gonna go listen in?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay.
Are
What are the
the
rest of you doing?
Are the signs still up on the monitors?
They came down.
Okay.
And then everything seems to have restarted as normal. I mean, except for the one that was like on fire.
I'm curious. I don't know which one of us realized, or if it's all of us, about that her great grandson might be Robbie. Um. Oh no, wait.
I think
That's Winifred. That's
technically
Winifred.
I was picturing this as being Babs putting it together.
Cool.
But
Great. So then I'll leave that to you.
but also like it's probably one of those things you just hadn't put together who Robbie was, but you heard the name Robbie Goldberg. And now realizing Winifred Goldberg talks about Robbie, you could all probably reasonably put it together, frankly. Caitlin, I feel like you just triggered the day move again. Um, what's the worst thing that could happen here as you're trying to listen in?
She hears someone say something bad about her.
I love it.
She's
I love it. And it was just I feel like this would definitely like the consequence would be a condition. Like you'd have some shattered confidence there.
for sure.
I feel like this is actually composure in this case because you need to be like calm, you need to be concentrating, not tripping, not losing your nerve. So why don't you roll 2d6 with composure?
That'll be 11.
11. Okay. Um yeah, you're going to be able to do what you intended and hold steady and be in control. So what does that look like as you're like sneaking over there and listening in?
Oh, it's not sneaky. She like sort of walks over, um, like this was also kind of her idea to do, maybe. Um, and is just sort of very obviously kind of paying attention.
Yeah, I think because you rolled so well, you're able to hear two sides of this conversation. You're really just catching the bare end of Agnes being like, "Well, you must see, Cersei appears to be deceased. There was a bit of a minor explosion. We really need you to come quickly. I have no idea why these meddling mavens, I think they call themselves, are trying to handle it, but yet, yes, absolutely, proper authorities." And you hear in the other line, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, that's deeply suspicious. We will definitely dispatch Agent Murdy, our computer forensics expert. Will be there shortly." Kind of hands up, yeah, and she's like, "Yeah, well, hurry," and then just like hangs up on the officials, and comes out, nose up in the air, probably spots that you're nearby, and just kind of glares at you a little bit.
Oh, what bad do you think is going to happen now? Why do they need to hurry?
There is a dead body, and I don't want to be blamed for it. Do you?
No, but she was our friend, and let's try to figure out what happened to her before we call those pigs in.
You think you're better than them?
Yes.
You called them pigs.
I was gonna say, I feel like both of it, like, I want to back up my friend here. Like, I
I
just
love
want to
it.
walk up and be like in a triangle.
This is so great. Yeah, you probably get a little bit of a glance too of Howell's office. Um, there's a strong smell that hits you before even the visuals of body odor and kind of a like carpet that needs to be cleaned. There's a waste basket filled with drink plus cans, and there's a bank of gray filing cabinets kind of on the wall, and the phone was there on the desk, so you'd be able to see that behind you. Um, to kind of paint the scene here, if you get this glance at the office, the door's open, you're arguing, what sign would you see that suggests that Brindlewood Bites is about to go under? I'm looking at the office.
Bills.
Yeah,
Has to
just
be noticeable.
piles and piles of bills and invoices saying past due. Thank you, Mimics and Misfits. We love y'all. Congrats on 2 new settings. We can play cartoons in space. It's like Clone Wars. I'm so happy. Y'all are awesome. By the way, if you haven't seen it, there's 4 episodes of an actual play I got to record with them this weekend. That's now been broken down into 4 episodes that are all less than an hour that you can watch on YouTube if you're neurodivergent like me and don't want to see 4 hours at once. I get very silly, and there's a lot of uses for mobility aids. And pretty much anything could be a mobility aid if you try hard enough. That's the end of my clues. Sean also played. Sean can give you more. But yeah, so you look in this office, and there's definitely bills kind of piled up everywhere. Where else do you think you would, what would you do next? You are on a bit of a clock. You know an official is coming.
Ab still has a curiosity just on Cersei's body. There was a keyboard she had and the phone, and so I want to look at the phone just a little bit closer to see if it still powers on, if there's anything I can get on it, or if just more about the phone or the keyboard.
Absolutely. I'm gonna still call this a computer move, and you're gonna roll with disadvantage. So you're gonna do 3d6 and take the lowest 2.
That'd be a 5.
Awesome.
Babs. What are you
No.
doing?
Oh, I is not picturing a roll that low. Give me one moment.
Girl, we
Figure out
signed
what.
up for those.
It
Did you
still
not?
does just as. Oh, sorry. It still just does just as much as my flip phone.
So as you get
Even
over to look closely at it, and you're holding the cell phone, you're turning it over, you're not sure, you reach over with the other hand to the keyboard, and there's a faint whiff of ozone and a spark. It looks like you may have completed a circuit. And yeah, you're right in the middle of it.
Wait, can I use my move?
You could, yeah. How would you do it? Do you
Is
wanna
Babs about to be
remind us of
harmed?
your move? Yeah, Babs is definitely about to be physically harmed.
yes.
Yes, I have my Maven move is BA Baracus. Once per session, if you and or any number of your fellow Mavens would suffer physical harm, you can describe how that physical harm is just narrowly avoided. Um, that's my move. So you said we hear something like click into place or
There's
on the
like a little bit
keyboard?
of there's a whiff of ozone that would probably be your clue from across the room, and there's it's like a tiny spark, and you realize that, like, if the problem was in the keyboard and your friend has an electronic device that has a battery, we might have completed the circuit again.
Okay, this might be wild,
I
but
love
it's
it.
the first
I love
it's
it
the
already.
first thing that came to my head. So the thing that we need to move away from all of us is this like keyboard thing, right? That's what we need to get away from. So I think, especially because I'm a very physical person, but
Mhm.
currently my knee is shot. I think I look around and I see this beautiful, heavy platter of cookies. And I pick up the platter and I dump the cookies off of it and I frisbee the platter perfectly so that it knocks the keyboard out of your hand
That is
and away from
amazing.
us.
Oh my god, that is amazing. I love it. I love it so much. Absolutely no notes. Babs, you're just sitting there kind of trying to do your thing and figure out how the technology works, and then out of nowhere, this platter just comes across and knocks the keyboard out of your hand. I don't know if you would fall back or like how would you react to that?
I think I would fall. I wouldn't know what was happening, so my first reaction would just be, "Mimi, what the hell?" And then I just grab a cookie and pick it up, and then just try to look around to get my bearings while eating the cookie as well. I
Amazing.
haven't had a cookie yet.
That is absolutely amazing. Abigail's just, like, sitting there, like, eyes huge, her red hair's kind of, like, fallen out of the she had it, like, in a neat, messy bun, like, looking hard to be messy, but, like, nice tendrils in the front. It's just kind of, like, falling out at this point, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, what about the cookies?" And is just completely fixated on all these cookies in the ground, is crawling on all floors trying to save them, is, like, trying to pull hair off of them, is completely disheveled. Um, Winifred, on the other hand, just starts cackling hysterically because it's amazing. And as the keyboard, so the keyboard's going to go off in one direction, the platter in another. The platter hits the shelf in the back of the room, and you start hearing like this motorized kind of creaky movement and like lightly hitting something rhythmically and the strains of Jingle Bell Rock playing as you seem to have accidentally reactivated this like semi-broken Santa toy that was hidden in the back from your holiday party. So it's just kind of going.
Is this in tandem with Love Machine still?
Yeah.
Just two.
Yep. Love Machine, I guess, is on repeat with Jingle Bell Rock. It's a party in here. So yeah, are there other things you would do here? I will, especially since this is our first mystery, kind of give you that there are a few other locations you can explore. Number one, you can always decide that you're going to take time to do your cozy move. You can go home. We can talk about what your cozy places look like, all of that. If you decide you want to skedaddle and leave the scene of the crime. You also, I think Mimi in particular knows where Cersei lives because you used to meet her at her house in the morning to power walk for a bit before going over. So that is an option if you wanted to investigate Cersei's house. And you also know that there is like kind of in the next town over, or like on the edge of townish, there is a big box store. It's a Titan Tech mega store. That location you could also look at. While you're here in Brindlewood Bites, you're in the back room. You could dig around in the office a bit more in Howell's office. You can also go into the main part of Brindlewood Bites, like kind of where the store is in the front.
I'm just wondering if there's a way to find out at all how long ago that like malware had been installed. Like, is that something that might have been done during the break-in the night before?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Why don't you you're going to try to look for yourself?
I might ask for help.
Okay. I'll want you to you're going to roll 2d6 with presence, but you're also going to do it at disadvantage because of your over it condition. Cuz you're starting to just like be it's a little harder to be persuasive. I'll just put it that way. You're just like between the Santa, yeah, the BO, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. So,
This is to kind of
two,
convince Sabrina to help, basically.
yeah, 2d6 with presence minus, or
So
sorry,
it'll be 3d6, you take the two lowest, and then it'll be with presence, which for you is a 0.
yeah. That'll be 3.
3. Amazing. Um
child.
I'm trying to figure out how bad I wanna make this. Sorry, there were, like, a few things that popped in my
Yeah.
head that were a little too evil, and I feel like I should maybe save that for a little bit of a darker day. Um Okay. Yeah, you go over and you're just like, "Yeah, child, help me with this. Figure this out." Like, how would you be speaking to Libby, like, representing that 3?
Yeah, I literally would have probably addressed her as child in this sort of like harried state. And it would be sort of like, can we see, like, can you tell us when this malware was installed? Like, doesn't it make sense? Like, she's basically asking, not like really asking a question, is more like asking confirmation of her suspicions. So, like, you know, can't you see that it was probably installed last night during the break-in, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
and is having a hard time, like, hearing whatever the answer would actually be.
Okay, I think you are, if we had over it before, I think at this point you have a second condition that's just kind of, like, off-putting. Like, it's gonna you were just like, "This girl has" like, she's 16. She just saw her mentor, like, die. She's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
through it. You pushed a little too hard. And at the exact same time, Chanchal Murthy comes in, the Brindlewood County, computer forensics expert, and sees you berating a child, effectively. He's got, like, these very, thick, unfashionable spectacles and a neat beard and a very standard business casual, like, probably khakis, blue shirt, kind of that. Chanchal, sorry, and then, Murty for last name. I'll type that up because I can't talk
I got you.
today.
It's
Okay,
done.
awesome.
I got you.
Awesome. He also has his ID, like his county, Brindlewood County ID on a lanyard around his neck. And he just comes in and looks at you and goes, "What are you doing? Can you just get out of the
I'm
way? I will take a look."
helping.
Sure. Sure, lady.
Are you helping? Because I've been helping.
If you'd been helping, I wouldn't need to be here. And then kind of like reaches over and around Sabrina and then starts just typing away really, really fast. All of this and it's like, you see, oh, look at this. Look, this is different. It's a different IP routed through VPN, but like right there, the Boston field office, they never listened to me. I mean, why would they listen to me? I was just top of my class at MIT. They're just like, and yeah, is typing away at it. And it's like, this is really suspicious. Somebody was in your system deliberately. This was not an accident.
When?
Um,
What do you mean when?
I f-
Like when? When were they in the system?
Were you in the system?
I'm
I
not a
feel
part
like
of
I'm
man.
feel like I'm recognizing like I think Mimi is watching this interaction and being like, "Oh, I gotta go get my girl." um, and and I think I want to look at Babs and like put a hand on uh Nessie's shoulder and just be like, let's let this fine gentleman." And like I think the two of you know me well enough that you know that I am putting on airs right now. Let's let this fine gentleman do their work. And I I have the best meditative uh activity we can do to go relax. Uh, and I wanna try to, like, usher them out, under the guise of doing my cozy activity, but as we're on our way out, I want to try to grab, maybe stealthily, I don't know, grab the, business card off the table
Oh,
and
yeah. Yeah, nobody
take
is
that.
paying attention at that point. Um, as you go out, you enter kind of it's one of those where you're not going out the back door, you come in the front and then go in the back. So, you're gonna go out into the, Brindlewood Bites computer store. The equipment's kind of dated, the posters are a little yellowed, it's a little shabby. But you notice this printer is just going nuts, and you couldn't really hear it over the sound of the music and all the other shenanigans that were happening. It's just reams and reams of printouts being spit out of the printer. When you get close to it, you see that it's filled with corrupted text. But there is one legible word that you see over and over, and it's just Cersei. So that's your next clue. Reams of printouts filled with corrupt text and one legible word, Cersei.
Is that a void clue or a regular clue?
It's a
'Cause that
regular
seems
clue.
creepy.
It's just creepy.
I don't like that one bit.
I think we should.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
Babs is just a little not curious. You go ahead. I'm gonna try to find my words, and then I'll.
I was just gonna say, ladies, I think we should get out of here, and perhaps we could go exploring, and just kind of, suggest to you all. First of all, we all have a lot of conditions, but I'm thinking about what you said,
You're telling me.
especially with this printer, like confirming it. You mentioned that I know where Cersei's house is, and that felt really
Yes.
intriguing. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you head straight to Cersei's house, or would y'all
No,
want
I
some
mean,
downtime first?
if you'll allow it, for us to maybe get rid of some of our, conditions, I feel like there's just like a like a cut screen to my meditative activity, which is that since I have a twisted knee and I can't actually bowl, I have you all in my living room, going through the sacred ritual with me of polishing my bowling balls, and like, like the very wax on, wax off. Like, it really does just calm you down. But like I'm so particular about it.
So you
That's
may hate Babs just a little bit because Babs will also just accidentally, but on purpose, put a bumper sticker on your ball. Actually, waxes it as well.
for that mischief, I'm
So,
gonna have oh my god. I thought there was no PvP. No, I'm just kidding.
oh,
I'm gonna have, Mimi, you can clear a condition, Nessie can clear a condition.
Perfect.
I feel like Babs is technically engaging in her own cozy move, so I'm gonna let you clear a condition if you have one.
Can I choose what condition I want to clear?
Yep, yeah, you can choose.
I'm going to
Um,
eliminate off-putting.
okay, that's good to know. I also think Mimi is the one who's gonna get a clue out of this. Um, but is anybody else wanting to engage in their cozy time activity?
I would maybe ask, like, if on our way to Cersei's, we could swing by the shelter, because
Mhm.
there's just an older senior cat that I want to check on that had surgery over the weekend.
Aw. Who would everybody go with, or would you take one person in particular?
I would invite anyone who's interested, just kind of a like, I just want to stop in.
Um, I feel like, I would be like, "Oh, you all go ahead. I'm not really a cat person. I'll meet you there, and I'll give you Cersei's address," because I would 100% stay behind and immediately engage with, like, getting that bumper sticker off my bowling ball. This is that's something that I cannot let stand.
I do think as you're there engaging with the bowling ball, Brindlewood Bay is a little bit of a small place. So do you go to your house to do this? Because that's where yeah, you don't have your bowling balls with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can probably from your porch where you're icing your knee and working on this, see Cersei's place down the block. And you also note that on this street there's a mysterious white van. So that's your clue for that. Um Babs and Nessie go to who has the business card? Is it Mimi? Awesome. So, Babs and Nessie, you go to the cat shelter. How is the cat doing?
Um, groggy. Has a cone of shame on. Uh, so still just like coming out from anesthesia, but the surgery went well. It's just going to be a slow recovery process.
Got it.
I took Banjo with me as well because he's really friendly with cats as well.
I love that. Was the plan to meet up at Cersei's place?
Yes.
Okay. By the time you all convene, the white van is gone. Uh, Mimi, do you think you have a key to get in, or do you think you know where she hides her key, or how do you think you'd?
I think I know where she hides her key. Like, I think I've gone over to help with something before. So,
Yeah. So, she's got like a cute little, instead of a regular like turtle hideaway, it's like a sea turtle. Um, it somehow looks like very cowabunga dude, kind of chill, very like Finding Nemo coded. Um, and you get the key out, you unlock the door, and as
oh,
you open it, there's you kind of have like a straight shot down the hallway to the dining room table. Sitting on it is a laptop, but it's covered in barnacles. Like the amount of barnacles that might take centuries to accumulate. But laptops haven't been around for centuries. And that's going to be our cliffhanger for today. You're going to get a void clue out of this. We're going to start with it next time with a more detailed description. But yeah, I know we're kind of inventing this how we how we want to run it when we're splitting the mysteries into 2 sessions. I do want to try like a mini stars and wishes. So for stars and wishes, I want to make sure I get the name right for the person who created this, which is why I'm like very obviously opening my book to the part of it that discusses it. Atlas, do you remember? Luke, wait, thank you. Atlas to the rescue. We can kind of start with stars, something that somebody did that you thought was really great, something you enjoyed about the session. Wishes would be you or your character's hope for what will happen next time. So I know that I've started with Heather and with Caitlin. We can start with Justin this time. So you could do both or just one or the other, since it's just kind of a mini one. So either stars would be like giving somebody their flowers, their props for something cool that they did. Wishes or something that you or your character wants to happen next time.
Sorry, I feel put on the spot, so I'm trying to
You're
think
good. You're
real
good. Does
quick.
somebody have one ready? I don't
So
mean to put you on the spot.
I can.
I have,
Oh, go for it. I have no idea.
I
Caitlin
think
seems
that
good. We'll do Caitlin.
Mimi throwing the platter.
Amazing.
Incredible.
That was about to get really dark, so that was a very good call.
agreed. Babs appreciated that. Didn't know it, but she appreciated.
Love it.
I'll.
Do
I
you have
think
any stars or wishes? Yeah.
another star, since we kind of all just did a star, is I really well, I guess I have 2. One, I really like the computer monitor thing. That was a really unexpected twist that made me be like, "Oh, d man." But then I really, enjoyed when Nessie went all, uh, pigs political. And I was just like, "Yes."
That was amazing.
Thank
Do you have a star, Justin? I finally found the page. Things you enjoyed about the session, characters, scenes, bits of description, something from the gameplay. Anything you liked can be a star.
I appreciate the whole storyline. To be honest, I love the concept that we're going with. I hate to be generic on that, but I do like where that story's going and the characters. I love the character. I love character building uh, from a from a listener perspective.
Yeah, there were a lot of adventures we could have started with that might have been slightly easier, but when I saw your 3 characters, I was like, "It's gotta be this." I don't know why. I don't know why, but I thought the 3 of you would play this really well, and I have not been disappointed. So wishes are things you hope to see next time, exploring a part of the game we didn't get to, following up with a character about something, having a scene with a certain character, anything like that. Any wishes for our next session, which is a week from today, is that right, Atlas? Yeah,
I
I think we're
almost
Oh,
wish to see a little bit more of old Robbie Goldberg. I'm curious.
Mm, questioning the
um,
1%.
I'm wishing I'm realizing, I guess as a wish, I need to look at my, cozy little place items more because I should not have said that I knew where the key was because I have a letter opener that doubles as a lockpick, and that would have been fun. Um,
Well, you can save it for
but,
next time.
I know,
I
but I
forgot
think
about
my
that.
actual wish is to have a moment where we are able to, like, once all is said and done, like, to, like, maybe just have a moment of paying, like, our respects to Cersei.
Mm, I love that.
Yeah, we did
Um,
kinda rush through that. The body
I
on the floor for the whole episode.
right. I wish that we solve this mystery before the police do.
You're you're on one today, Kayla. You got a goal, and I'm here for it. I mean, y'all are doing great. How many clues do you have?
Infinite.
A lot.
A lot. 1, 2, 3,
9.
4, 9. And it will come down to how many you can explain away, but, you're moving, and you also found a void clue. I'm also not having to, like, push y'all at all. You're doing great. This is a lot of fun. I am still learning this system, so apologies to chat if I'm doing things wrong, but it can't be wrong when the players are being so awesome and having fun. So that's the point of the game. As a reminder, I never said this out loud. We are raising money for the Autistic Self Advocacy Network. Um, I know that Atlas, our producer, has been keeping that in the chat. We're doing a special live stream next week. Please keep an eye on our socials for the announcement on exactly the day and time. But that's going to be a dedicated Dungeons and Dragons one shot, specifically in honor of I wrote it in honor of the first like autistic character written by an autistic person in D&D lore, like official in a source book. But the Autistic Self Advocacy Network is a fantastic organization, and we're really happy to support them, and we're thankful for the donations that we've already received. I should also mention we will be back in a week for the second part of Control Alt Deceased, and then for most of the summer, we have a few other things up our sleeves, but for most of the summer, we'll have various trios of our mavens solving mysteries as they slowly discover some of the things hidden in the deeper parts of Brindlewood Bay. So thank you all so much again for playing, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for running.